I need 2 words from Sakurai. Not the name of the character, not the announcement for the next pass, none of that. I need one simple sentence to come out of his mouth, and those words are, I lied. I want the world thrown into chaos, and he has more than enough power to do it.
Everybody like, hey, are you ready to go? Ready to go? Everybody like,
Alright, what is going on, y'all? Soul here, and welcome back to my story mode. So, I'm gonna go ahead and apologize for a couple of things. Right now, I'm recording this pretty late, and I don't usually record this way. And when I say that, I mean that it's been a long time since I've just recorded my raw thoughts, just talking the way I want to talk. You know, I'm gonna be saying a lot of ums and you knows and things like that, but I'm saying this right now because I'm setting the little expectation bar for you guys. I want you to think of this as like a kickback. Let's talk, let's chill out and discuss you know, whatever I want to talk about, you know, or whatever you guys want to talk about. If you guys want me to talk about something, don't hesitate to let me know, or you know, whatever. If you so happen to find me, just let me know in the comments. Just, hey, let's talk about this, you know, whether it be a game, anime, manga, whatever, you know, if it's something that I'm familiar with and I have some kind of interest in, I'm super down to talk about it. But as of right now, I just want to kick back, talk. So go ahead, grab your Pepsi, your Coke, your coffee, whatever time it is. At the end of the day, it really doesn't matter to me. Just expect to kick back and just chill right now. Put this on in the background while you're playing your game. I don't really care. I want to chat. And what we're chatting about today is the final DLC character for the Fighters Pass. This is something that I've been wanting to talk about for quite some time, but on the main channel, I'm a PokeTuber now, I guess. Didn't intend for that to happen, but that's where we are now, and I'm gonna roll with it. However, I wanted to have a place to just talk my heart out, you know, and this seemed like the appropriate place. If I decide later that I want to keep it a little bit more organized, a little bit more organized, I'll go ahead and put all of the timestamps down below so that you guys could skip to the most important parts. And I'll probably end up doing that just so you guys aren't like skipping through trying to get to the main point. I'll let you know down there in the description where you can find each part of this video. So yeah, we're going to be talking about the final character for the DLC pass, or for the Fighters Pass for Smash Ultimate. Now, the main reason I wanted to talk about this is because this is really, truly the final pass that we're getting for this game, which means that after this character, this game is not getting any more DLC, and it's only probably going to get a couple of patch updates before they're like, all right, we're done. You know, that's just kind of how it happens with Nintendo, or at least with Smash games. I can't remember the last time Wii U version of Smash got updated. It's been a long time. So I fully expect that by the time this new character rolls around, we'll probably be within the last couple of updates for the game, patch-wise. But who's to say? I don't know. Maybe they'll patch it for a couple more years, because they do expect to have the Switch for a very long time. So I could be wrong, whatever. We'll see how it happens. So, at this current point in time, we're rocking Kazuya. He's great, he's busted, he is legitimately busted. Like, he is the first character where we look at him and say, yes, he is genuinely busted. That's a whole discussion for another day. If we want to talk about it, maybe we will. But he is genuinely busted. He's very fun, though, I will give him that. Me personally, I'm not a huge fan of Tekken. However, Tekken's a big thing, and I'm very happy for everybody that wanted a Tekken character and got their boy Kazuya. My friend has been having a hell of a time playing with Kazuya in Smash Ultimate, and I'm really happy that he got him. So that's awesome. Me personally, I'm very satisfied with the roster so far, so even if I don't get the next character or somebody that I want personally, I'm happy for whoever that character appeals to. So I just really want to just talk about the possibilities of who that character it might be. It's just so hard to get a lockdown on these characters. You really never know. Alright? Both of these Fighters Passes just completely unexpected. Every single character. Sorry, I'm gonna take a drink of water. Excuse me. We expected literally nobody. Joker, off the walls. Banjo, it's been so long since we've expected him, but we kind of gave up expecting him, and then, oh, no, sorry, bitches, there he is. Boom. How you like that? Right in your face. It's incredible, you know? Sephiroth didn't really think of a villain, or even specifically another Final Fantasy character making it into Smash. Like, we just, for whatever reason, did not see that coming. So, when it comes to guessing who this final character is, I hope it's somebody just completely out of the ballpark. I hope almost everybody on this list is wrong. Like, there's obviously one or two big characters that I obviously want, but quite honestly, I just want them to hit us with a sick-ass curveball. I love me some good curveballs, and Smash knows how to hit them correctly, out of the goddamn park. You know what I mean? So, let's talk about it. Alright, let's talk about the characters that we expect, characters we may not expect, and everything in between. I'm going to be organizing it from the most highly requested characters to the most expected, and whatever else I came up with here. I've got a little list next to me, and I want to talk about each of the characters that might be a possibility for this next or final character slot for the Fighter's Pass. So why don't we just start getting into it, because fun fact about me, I like to ramble. I can go on a tangent for freaking years. Alright, that's just something that I do, and I really can't help it. But that could come as to benefit. That could end up being a benefit for this channel. Who knows? Hopefully you guys enjoy my little rambles, because we're going to be doing it like this kind of often. So if you're not happy with that, oh well. I don't know how to help you. So why don't we get started by talking about some of the most expected characters. Okay, I'm going to be knocking it out by, like, you know, the most obvious to the least obvious, okay? And the most obvious to me, from what it seems like, is Sora. Duh. If you are a fan of Kingdom Hearts, you've been wanting Sora as a character in Smash for decades. You've been wanting this man forever. You've been sitting there wondering when he was going to get his chance, and then you saw Sephiroth and you're like, oh, okay, that's crazy. You know, me personally, I'm super satisfied, like I said, but I'm sure a lot of us are satisfied. If you're a Kingdom Hearts fan, you're usually some kind of a Square Enix fan. Like, that was kind of your gateway into Final Fantasy stuff. So maybe you're not satisfied. Maybe you don't give a goddamn about Sephiroth or Cloud or whatever. But me personally, I'm chilling. But Sora is usually the biggest and most highly requested character every single time some kind of poll comes up. Every time you see some kind of random listing, Sora's normally like #1 or #2, like at most, or at the very least #2. Okay, every time you see just anything, any kind of polls or listings or anything like that, Sora's always the most requested. Every time you go on Twitter, he is trending without fail. He's always there. So I'm sure, I have no doubt in my mind that Sora has reached the eyes and ears of Nintendo as a possibility of a character for Smash, because Nintendo is the one picking out the characters. I know they see that. They're on Twitter. We know this. And so what they plan to do with that, I have no idea. I mean, they've clearly been very quiet about it for some time now on purpose, right? So I don't know. They have their plans. If Sora's not one of them, that's totally fine. However, there's no way that they didn't recognize that Sora's not highly requested. If he's the final fighter, I'll be completely honest with you, I do highly doubt it, especially since we got Sephiroth on the roster, and we're trying to reach out to more different genres to get represented. He got represented as like the villain of RPGs, you know, Sephiroth. Every character that we got is a representative of a very important series or a very important part of gaming history. And in, yeah, Sephiroth's case, he is, you know, the villain of RPGs. In Sora's case, he would just be another action RPG protagonist. And, I mean, it's not exactly like we don't have a lot of RPG protagonists already. Not to say Sora's not unique, but I would completely understand if they decided not to add him, because he's not completely, he would be awesome, but he's not unique enough in the genre of RPGs to be, you know, something different, like something crazy. You know, we have our RPGs, we have our whatevers, and it would also be kind of a weird thing. I'm not really sure how Nintendo feels about having like or Sakurai or Nintendo feel about having Disney characters as stickers or whatever incorporated. You know, Mickey being a big businessman he is, you know, I really don't know how they feel about that, or vice versa. I don't know about how Disney feels about Kingdom Hearts characters in the game like that, or if they even care about Kingdom Hearts. It's really hard to say where everybody is with that. But if you're on the inside, you're in the know, and you know. If you're not, you're us, and you're suffering because you just want to know so badly if he's a freaking Mii Fighter character. I'll kill myself if he's a Mii Fighter character, or if he's just not there. If he's not, no, that's fine, whatever. Anyway, moving on. The next character that's pretty weirdly highly expected is actually Master Chief, from what I've seen. Now, he's not like on every single listing as like a top character, but as far as first-person shooter representatives go, I would say he's absolutely deserving. Like, Halo as a series has set like so many standards and created like so many like bases for other FPSs to follow suit that he represents a lot for the gaming community as a whole. Like, Halo is very important to gaming, like more so than I realized. I only recently played through the Master Chief collection. Now I finally know the story of Halo for the most part, and I'm gonna be, you know, your boy's gonna be picking up a little bit of a little bit of Halo Infinite down the line. So I obviously would not be opposed to Master Chief, because at one point I thought it would be a joke. Why would they do that? Absolutely not. But now that I understand who he is and why he is, I could not tell you a better first-person shooter representative than Master Chief. You know, I know that's not usually something that Nintendo represents outside of like Metroid Prime specifically, but FPS games are crucial to the gaming realm. You can't really ignore that. And if you're playing a game that celebrates all of gaming, then Master Chief is up there. He's absolutely deserving of a spot, and how they would work him specifically is beyond me. But I think he would manage really well, and he would make me really happy if he got in. I'm just putting it like that. And I know I didn't ramble nearly as much about Master Chief as I have about Sora, but I'm looking at the time right now and I'm like, yeah, I should probably get a little bit of a move on. Like I said, I ramble. Anyway, so Master Chief is a very obvious representative, but I really don't know what his chances are looking like anymore. I don't know. So we'll have to see how it plays out. Alright. Next up on the obvious list is Crash Bandicoot. Duh. This man is a platforming G, alright? He was right there on the billboards next to Mario and Sonic. Mario when he was saving gaming, Sonic when he was doing his own thing and really leading Sega towards success, okay? And then there was Crash frickin' Bandicoot talking all that mad garbage about the plumber. This man has every right. I'm not like a huge fan of Crash Bandicoot or anything like that. I've played a little bit of the trilogy, but I really didn't grow up with Crash. Damn, dude. But because of that, I don't really have much of an attachment to Crash. However, I do understand and recognize how important he is, which is why a lot of people that did grow up with the platformer genre are really just gunning for him, and they think that he deserves a shot. And honestly, I do too. I would be okay with him. I wouldn't be like crazy about it, but I'd understand and I'd look forward to playing him. He is a very unique character, and as far as the platformer genre goes, besides like Mario and Sonic, whatever, Crash is definitely up there. He's definitely up there. So I don't know. He's very much expected. What his chances are looking like, couldn't be me. Couldn't be me. I couldn't tell you, bro. So moving along here, we next up have nobody specific, but a Mortal Kombat representative, because like Tekken, like Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat is extremely important to gaming genre, all of it, especially the fighting game genre. Something that I learned recently, apparently, Mortal Kombat is the reason that we have what is it, ESRB ratings on games, like E for everyone, T for teen, everything like that. They literally had to make that because of Mortal Kombat, because it was so gory and it was so much of a darker fighting game than people were used to, as opposed to, you know, the blocky stuff that we were getting back in the day, or the, you know, the whatever. So as far as Mortal Kombat goes, it definitely deserves a rep. That I thought that Mortal Kombat would have gotten a representative before Tekken at this point. Like, I figured Tekken would go first, but when they added Heihachi back in the day as a Mii fighter costume, I'm like, so are we just not getting Tekken? Because why are you wasting your time with a Mii fighter costume for Heihachi? That doesn't make any sense to me. So, I don't know. I don't know what that's gonna look like. But honestly, as far as the Mortal Kombat rep goes, I would be definitely happy. How they would manage that, I'm not really sure, because the gore in Mortal Kombat is one of its biggest things. Like, it's supposed to be brutal, you know, fatalities and things like that. And fatality that's, you know, the killing blow, you know. Like, I know that Smash is about fighting and you quote unquote kill your opponents, whatever, but it's meant to be like friendly, like, you know, they respawn, you know, like they obviously, if this were a real situation, they just respawn, they just come back, you know. Mortal Kombat, you know, you're killing your opponent, you're taking heads off, it's ridiculous. So I don't really know where they sit with that, but still, if they could find a way to make Joker's Final Smash not gory at all, they could definitely find a way to maneuver it so that, you know, Scorpion's get over here is not too vile, you know. And that would be the most disgusting command grab ever. And he'd have to scream it every time. That'd be so annoying. That's a side B for sure. Either way, like I don't know a lot about Mortal Kombat personally, because I didn't play it too much. I did play a little bit of Mortal Kombat 11, but I'm not like too invested in the lore. But as far as the representative goes, you guys would have to tell me, you know, who would, you know, Sub-Zero, Scorpion, Raiden, however you say his name. But there's another character. I know he's like the main character. I don't know enough. Liu Kang? Is that who it is? I don't remember. But either way, I would be shocked if we didn't get a Mortal Kombat representative in the next game or whatever, if we get another Smash Bros. When we get another Smash Bros, because they're not going to let the series die just because Sakurai's fed up with it, you know. They will find somebody else. They will do what they have to keep Smash alive. That is their money maker, bro. And yet it doesn't have dedicated servers. Isn't that funny? It's that funny. Anyway, so that's where I'm at with Mortal Kombat. If that got a final representative, that would be interesting, and it would be well deserved. But is it going to? I don't know. Next up, the final character on my expected list is actually Okami. More specifically, the main character Amaterasu, the wolf that you play as. I honestly thought Amaterasu would be here by now. You know, that was one of the big, huge games on the Wii. Like, it doesn't really symbolize much for, like, all of gaming or anything like that, but it was one of the first games to really, truly, properly utilize motion controls outside of the mainline, like, Nintendo games and stuff. And honestly, Amaterasu would make me super happy. Honestly, I think it's really deserving of a spot. Like, simply because it's the most unique character on this list of characters. You know, it's not like a sword fighter, it's not a 2D fighter from a fighting game, it's not an RPG protagonist, nothing like that. It is just a sun god with a really unique moveset to fight demons. It's fitting, it's got the aesthetic for Smash. It would be really fun, and it would be such a sick change of pace. You know, it would be, I mean, we already have a character that's beaten out Duck Hunt Dog, which is Banjo and Kazooie. However, I'm telling you right now, if Amaterasu made it in, ain't nobody touching Duck Hunt Dog ever again. I promise you, bro. I promise you. So, I don't know. Honestly, if Okami got in, I would be shocked as hell, because at this point, I just figured it was way too late. Way too late. But then again, that's kind of what we thought for a lot of characters on this list. Banjo and Kazooie, we thought it would never happen. We thought it was way too late. Steve, we thought there was just no way. We thought it was way too late if they didn't add him earlier. We truly, honest to God, did not know. And yet, here we are. So, quite honestly, if Amaterasu made it in, I think a lot of us would be shocked, because we're at the point where we've kind of given up on Amaterasu a little bit. But if it made it in, I think a lot of us would be very happy campers. I didn't get to finish Okami yet, but it is still on the back burner. Like, I got like a quarter way through, and I very much do plan on finishing it. Even if I have to restart it, I don't care. I'm very happy that I have the game now, and I don't have to use motion controls, because we're in the age of not forcing that down people's throats as much anymore. So that's awesome. And also, I apologize. I said the last character was Amaterasu on that part of the list. I lied. Final character on this list for the expected is Spyro. I played Spyro a lot when I was younger. Spyro was fun. You know, me personally, I don't really know what kind of moveset they would give Spyro. I just know that Spyro is pretty important. Very solid set of games. A lot of people grew up with it. I don't know if it's exactly popular enough like that. Especially because I didn't really hear many people talking about the remasters. Maybe I'm just following the wrong people. I don't know. But Spyro was kind of expected. Like, he's just one of those that's just like, you see a list, he may or may not be on there. Like, there's a good chance. Like, since a lot of the characters got deconfirmed, you know, he's out here replacing like Lloyd from Tales of Symphonia, or the main character from Golden Sun, whatever. If they got deconfirmed, there's a good, there's a good chance he replaced a certain spot on somebody's list. So, but I don't know. Like I said, I kind of grew up on Spyro. I played like a couple of his games. I wish I played more, and hopefully I can get my hands on the remasters soon, because they look fun. But I don't know. If they were to add Spyro, I wouldn't be too mad about it. So, yeah. Anyway, so that just about does it for all of the expected. Now I want to talk about the weirder ones, the more unexpected representatives that we wouldn't think about, you know. Or maybe that people aren't hoping for. They're just like, there's no way they would add these characters, or please God, don't add these characters. And honestly, that's more likely what's going to happen, because we're going to jinx the hell out of ourselves. That's just how it happens. So getting along with this part of the list here, starting off, I would be shocked if they actually did add a PlayStation rep of some kind. I grew up on PlayStation, and still, I mean, PlayStation's very important to gaming, as is Xbox, as is Nintendo. Like, it's just weird that, you know, they've picked out, you know, Xbox representative, Banjo-Kazooie and things like that. Steve, if that really counts. Not really. But it's weird that they haven't picked out a PlayStation rep by now, right? Like, there's so many big characters, big names on PlayStation's IPs, you know? And not all of them are, like, you know, gunners like Nathan Drake or Lara Croft, you know? There's more to PlayStation than that. Okay, you've got I'm mostly talking about the more popular fantasy characters, you know. You got Kratos, who is brutal, however, they could definitely make it work. Alright, we've got some crazy characters in this game. They could definitely make Kratos work if they really wanted to. They'd have to tone down the brutalities a little bit, but I still say, if they really wanted to, his dual-wielding little chain things would be crazy. I don't know how his range would be, but he'd be a nastier Min-Min for certain. And then you got other characters like Sackboy, who would be immensely fitting for a game like this. However, Little Big Planet has definitely fallen off the wagon within the last couple of years. But Little Big Planet is one of the, you know, few games that really, they really advertise, like, you know, kids being able to do what they want. You know, they really advertise creativity and things like that. And obviously, Nintendo's all about that. They love creativity, you know. Despite, you know, money, you know, they are a business at the end of the day, but you can tell that their developers do their best to put in as much love as they can. And, you know, Little Big Planet is a great representation of that mindset. And so, Sackboy, I'll tell it to you right now, if PlayStation didn't own it, it definitely wouldn't be on Xbox. It would immediately make its way over to Nintendo. Like, if for whatever reason Sony was like, no, never mind, Nintendo will be like, hey, come over here, we got you. What is it? Is it Media Molecule? Yeah. So I don't know what they're doing with Sackboy right now or Little Big Planet. However, if they were to pick a PlayStation rep, he would be good. The other best PlayStation reps that I can think of would be Ratchet and Clank and Jak and Daxter. Both are huge, very important to the platformer or just action adventure genre. All right, those are just the perfect PlayStation representatives. Either of those duos would be incredible. Weird that they're so similar and so not. I don't know how to explain it. They're like two sides of the same coin almost, but not. It's weird, but they both work, and either of them would be fine representatives. Honestly, I would put my vote on Ratchet and Clank. You know, fighting with a big old like screwdriver and everything like that. It's such a fitting cartoonish thing for Smash, and to get a PlayStation rep that advertise, you know, it's just perfect. It's just perfect. So I don't know. Maybe they got too much beef, since PlayStation can be a tad selfish sometimes. It can be a little selfish. Maybe there's just something there. Maybe they did ask for one of them and they were like, nah, piss off. We're not letting you make money off us. Forget it. Because that's kind of PlayStation. They can be kind of greedy too. Sometimes Nintendo's bad, but PlayStation can be bad, man. So I don't know. I couldn't tell you. But if we were to get a PlayStation rep, I think people would lose their minds because that would be just super left field. Next up would be a different FPS rep. And the two that I had in mind were Tracer, which is kind of expected, but now not much so. And now actually definitely not, because of the entire situation with Blizzard. And there's just no way they'd let that fly. Unless I don't know. I don't know how they would do. If they were to do that, it would be a whole thing. So I'm really not sure. But I like Tracer as a character. So I don't know. She would work. And then there's also somebody crazy. The Mass Effect main character. I know that Mass Effect fits more as an RPG. And it's not even a first person shooter. I know. So that sounds kind of stupid now. However, I think it would be dope to have the Mass Effect main character as an available character, mostly because Mass Effect is huge. Mass Effect is like important. Think about it this way. I was told recently that when Mass Effect, what was it, Andromeda or the Collection came out, whichever one of those, it was only like a couple of points down next to Breath of the Wild for like Game of the Year or something like that, or one of the biggest games of 2017. Like, it was crazy. Mass Effect represents a lot for a lot of people, and quite honestly, if they can make it work, that would be awesome. I don't know enough about Mass Effect to really advertise what that moveset would look like and how well they would fit, but Mass Effect is huge. It's not like if they were to get added, nobody would... There's no way somebody has never heard of Mass Effect. Like, there's no way anybody in the gaming realm hasn't heard of Mass Effect by now, you know? So, I don't know. I couldn't really tell you. Again, Tracer, I'm really not sure, but a Mass Effect rep would be dope. Moving along, another weird pick would be another series representative of a character we already have in the game, right? So, like we said, we got Sephiroth recently. We never ever thought we would be getting another another RPG representative like that, especially not the villain of Final Fantasy VII, one of the biggest RPGs of all time. All right, we didn't expect it, especially from Final Fantasy. Square was kind of weird with that. They were very weird with Cloud for a long time. Like, we got Cloud, we got like costumes and things like that. We got 2 songs and a stage. Like, we got nothing with Cloud. But Sephiroth came through with the music, the stage, the stickers, or the spirits. Came through with all that. So, it's really not out of the ballpark to expect another representative of a game, of a game that we already have. So, for example, I've talked about this once before on my other channel, but I'm still very confident in saying that Eggman has always deserved the spot. If we're talking about important villains in gaming, you can't have Sonic and not have Eggman. If you know Sonic at all, you know that his arch nemesis, the main big baddie of his entire situation, is always Eggman. Always. He's always the top dog in the game. Like, man has an IQ 400, advertises that like a madman. He's up there. He deserves it. He's the best next villain that you could pick after Sephiroth for another villain representative that we don't already have outside of Nintendo. Okay? Eggman's huge. I'ma just leave it at that. He's right there with Bowser, bro. Right up there with Bowser, except a lot smarter. Just saying. How they would add him, we'd have to talk about that another day, but he's deserving, absolutely. Next idea would be an Octoling. Octolings would be something. Like, I know they would count, people would probably think like, oh, they would count a lot better as an Echo Fighter and things like that, but quite honestly, Octolings and Inklings, they can be different. Like, for example, the Squid, what am I thinking of? Squid Kids, the Inklings, sorry, wow, what a brain fart, huh? The Inklings use one gun, they use one little splatter, whatever. The Octolings could use dualies, you know, they could use the brush, you know, as a main weapon, and they could switch to the other weapons as their specials, you know? There's nothing saying that the Octolings could be something entirely different. Maybe they could be harder hitters, maybe they could be faster, who knows? Either way, Splatoon is one of the biggest new IPs that Nintendo has introduced in a very long time. And it's become so important to Switch that within the span of what? 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, within the span of 5 years, we're about to have 2 full-ass Splatoon games on the Switch. Tell me that's not insane, bro. Tell me that's not nuts, alright? So, if they were to introduce the Octoling, quite honestly, while I'm sure plenty of people would be freaking furious that they decided to run with another IP, quite honestly, I wouldn't be too mad about it, because I like the Octolings, I like Splatoon, and they've got a new game that's coming out that they kind of need to advertise as much as they possibly can, besides Breath of the Wild. So, yeah, if they were to introduce Octoling as a character, while I would agree that it probably should have just been an Echo Fighter from the get-go, I'd be okay with it. I would use them. I wouldn't be too mad about it. We would have to see how good they are, though. And then, you know, characters like Waddle Dee, you know, he's the 4th of the trio. You know, there's Kirby, there's Meta Knight, there's Dedede. Waddle Dee is right there up with them, okay, with the spear and all. We don't have any spear fighters, we don't have any scythe fighters, and we definitely don't have any spear fighters in Smash, and Waddle Dee's right there, he's perfect. You ever played Return to Dreamland? He's the 4th playable character. Oh, I'm sorry, Waddle Dee, Bandana Dee, I'm crazy, sorry about that, I just said Waddle Dee. I meant Bandana Dee, yes, he would be an amazing spear fighter in the game. How unique they'd be able to make him, frankly, that's up to Sakurai, because Kirby as a series is Sakurai's baby, and he could do whatever the hell he wants with it. So, as a final fighter, it would be very controversial. However, a lot of people would argue back. Again, A, Kirby is Sakurai's other baby besides Smash. B, it's Nintendo's game. They can do whatever whatever the hell they want. So, yeah. If they wanted to add Bandana Dee, sorry about that, I wouldn't be too mad about it. And I'd absolutely use him, and that would complete the squad. Okay. So, and then like the final most series rep that they might do, that they have a possibility of doing, is a new Pokemon. It could be another Pokemon character, absolutely. I would not put it past them if for some crazy reason they decided, hey yo, let's rock with Cinderace. Tell me that they'd put it past them to put in Cinderace. You'd be lying. Easily, Cinderace is one of the most important Pokemon to come to the series in a long time, okay? Represents Galar in a nutshell, alright? Bunny, like, fighting, it's the perfect fighting character. Of all the Pokemon that got introduced in the most recent region, Cinderace would be perfect. Perfect. Okay? What did I say earlier? Did I say Cinderace? I feel like I didn't, but even if I didn't, I'm saying it now. Cinderace would be a great character, and a lot of people would be pissed. I'd be confused as well, because it's another one of those situations where it's like, why did you wait so long to introduce this character? Why would you do something like that? Please. But still, I love Pokemon to death, and if they were to introduce Cinderace, I'd be like, alright, fine, I'll play Cinderace. Even though the Stage UI deserves a character, because, you know, we need more representative fighting Pokemon that aren't fire types. But whatever. So, yeah. Long story short, they could definitely pick a series rep of a character that's already in the game. And hopefully of this list here, if they were to do something like that, I'd much rather be stuck with like Eggman or possibly Bandana D. If they did another Pokemon, fine. If they did Octoling, yikes. I can't imagine anybody else. It's kind of hard to pick. Unless they did, what's his name from Earthbound? Porky. But I feel like it's one of those things where it's way too late. So, I don't know. I really don't. Anyway, moving on. They could also do a character that we have yet to meet. We will be running up on a new generation of Pokemon within the next year. And we're going to be having the remakes upon us by the time Christmas time rolls around and things like that. So, we'll be, after the remakes, it'll probably be a couple months before they really, really let us know about anything. But it's very possible, it's just an example, that they could pick out a new Pokemon as, a representative to show off the new game and what we have to look forward to in the next upcoming year, because it's a weird Nintendo thing that they could absolutely do. They did it with Corrin. Who's to say they won't do it again? Again, a absolute stretch, but another example, they could do another new Fire Emblem rep. I don't know if they really would make another one, especially because of the backlash from Byleth. And we only recently just got Three Houses like a couple years ago, right? So I feel like a new Fire Emblem game is going to take a while to ride out and really just put together. Cause I really don't think they put one together that fast for the Switch, but you never know. They could pull another Corrin and absolutely give us a new Fire Emblem rep. Or just in general, if they wanted to, they could also introduce us to a brand new IP, one never before heard of at all. Who that would be? No idea. But it could be something. And then, moving on here, the final character that would be crazy, just unexpected, would be a just straight up missing Nintendo character. If you guys could think of any, please let me know who. I couldn't think of one for the life of me. But I'm thinking characters like Ninten, or maybe another Legend of Zelda villain, maybe even like a Breath of the Wild 2 villain, like maybe the new Ganon or whoever the new villain is or something like that. Maybe, what's his name from Skyward Sword? Demise. I don't know, man. Girahim. Oh no, Girahim's a trophy. So never mind. But I don't know. I'm just saying, it's possible that they were like, oh yeah, we overlooked this character. Maybe they make a good character. I don't know. Again, absolute stretch. But that's just my take on it. So, as far as my final thoughts here, me personally, I'm game for whatever they decide to do. It really doesn't matter for me at this point. If they give us somebody that everybody would be happy with, we'd be living in a fantasy world, because at the end of the day, there is not one character that could possibly satisfy every single person that plays Smash. Like, there's not one character that wouldn't make everybody angry, or a lot of people angry rather. So whoever they decide to pick, somebody's going to be upset about it. There's really no helping that. You can't do much about it. But if they do decide to run with like a safe pick, I wouldn't even know who that is. Nobody's safe. Everybody's in danger. I don't know. But me personally, I'm very satisfied with how this Fighters Pass came out. Even if we don't get Sora, I will live. I will be happy as a clam because I've got my mains, I've got Joker, you know, I've got Sephiroth, who I'd like to learn a little bit more about. I just kind of fell off because I don't play Smash as much as I used to, but I love the characters that we have access to in this game. They've done an amazing job building this game up and its DLC pass. No, regardless of what everybody says, these Fighters Passes were awesome. They did not need to give us 2, and they gave us 2 whole-ass Fighters Passes with a bunch of phenomenal characters. No matter how you feel about certain characters, how you feel about Joker, if you don't know him, how you feel about Banjo, if you don't know him, Hero from Dragon Quest, if you don't know him, whatever. Despite how one may feel about characters, they all have their reason for getting in, and honestly, every single one of them is deserving. And whoever they decide to pick, I feel is going to fall right under that exact same category. So really, I personally don't think there's anything to worry about. I think they're going to do a good job picking this character, and he's going to be a really well added addition to close off Smash Ultimate's DLC. So, I don't know. But hey, maybe I'm wrong about every single character on this list. They could pick the most left field MF I've ever seen. And I have no idea. I want to hear what you guys think. Do you guys think they're going to hit us with a completely left-heeled hit? Like, none of the characters, none of the, 30 plus characters that I mentioned, or 30? No, not even close. None of the, 15 to 20 characters I may have mentioned are even a possibility. Or maybe I hit the nail on the head on one of them. I want to know what you guys think. I want to know who you guys want as a character. I want to know who you want represented in Smash. But I think that's going to go ahead and do it for me. So with that, I'm going to leave you guys to it. I'm going to go ahead and skedaddle on out of here. Thank you guys ever so much for watching. I truly do hope you enjoyed. Do me the greatest favor of dropping a like and a comment, and consider subscribing for daily content just like this. And with that, I'll be seeing you guys in the next video. Do me the greatest favor of taking good ass care, and I'll see you all next time. Bye!